7 News on your side at 11 starts now.
And developing now at 11, murdered on the job. A Silver Spring gas station clerk killed while trying to fight off a man in this store. And right now the search is intensifying for the killer. 7 News' Kim Jackson has been tracking this case since it first broke. She is live at the scene tonight. And Kim, do police have any surveillance video that could help them catch this gunman?
Well, they're hoping so. They were checking that out a little bit earlier. At this point, though, Carl, police are no longer here on scene, and the gas station behind me remains closed. You can see there's a yellow tape here. There's fencing to keep people out. At this point, police only telling us that it was an adult male that walked into this gas station and shot and killed the clerk that was working. Montgomery County Police roped off the Dash-In Shell gas station, searching for clues after a murder in broad daylight at 3 in the afternoon.
An adult male suspect entered the gas station, got into a confrontation with the clerk, shot the clerk, and left the scene.
Initially, police could not confirm who else was in the store at the time or if this was a robbery, but they are hoping that surveillance video will give them more information.
We're investigating this crime, we're gathering all the evidence, we're collecting the evidence in order to understand what happened here so that we can apprehend this suspect as quickly as possible.
We spoke with one worker who says she left her shift just an hour before the shooting.
When I finish 2 o'clock, I'm working in the morning. So when I finish 2 o'clock, I just saw him and I just say bye, see you tomorrow. And after that, I didn't know what happened to him.
As other employees gathered outside the store, detectives and the crisis intervention team showed up, along with County Council member Kristen Monk, who lives close by.
I was incredibly saddened to learn that there was a shooting here today and that there was loss of life, and that the person who passed away, it sounds like, was a beloved member of the community.
Showing sympathy, but also calling for action against this violent crime.
Well, I'll say that the proliferation of guns in our society is clearly a problem. I mean, I live right around here. My parents live right around here. I've always felt safe moving around here, but clearly we need to do more, and we will.
Now, police say they need the public's help. They are still looking for a suspect, so they want anyone who saw anything that can help them with this case to give them a call. In Montgomery County, Kim Jackson, 7 News.
Kim, thank you. And new tonight, a change in leadership for Loudoun County Public Schools after the sudden firing of its top official. Well, tonight, the school board approved a new interim superintendent. Now, this comes as the district deals with a fallout of a grand jury report into the mishandling of 2 student sex assault cases. 7 News' Nick Minock is speaking with the new interim leader about what he plans to do to reassure students and parents.
Tonight, we will take a vote to appoint an acting superintendent.
The Loudoun County School Board voted to appoint Dr. Daniel Smith as the interim superintendent.
And my priorities is just to ensure the day-to-day operations, to make sure that our school division is on track and that our focus on teaching and learning of our kids. I realize it's going to take time to rebuild public trust.
Up until now, Dr. Smith served as chief of staff of Loudoun County Public Schools under then superintendent Scott Ziegler. Ziegler was fired by the Loudoun County School Board after a scathing special grand jury report on how Ziegler and other school administrators handled sexual assaults that happened at 2 different schools.
Aye.
2 school board members were absent from the vote.
Opposed?
The only school board member to vote against Dr. Smith was Tiffany Polifko.
And it is critical that a person who is assuming that role will take the necessary steps to display the leadership that is so needed in this school system right now.
Several Loudoun County parents tell 7 News they want more school administrators to be held accountable, along with the school board members who were on the board during the time of the sexual assaults.
I want every one of them to go. Why did they get rid of Ziegler just 2 days ago? Why? They knew about all this stuff, but they waited until the public pressure was so great that they acted. Why? Because it's election season.
There's no doubt that we knew some of the information in there. Absolutely no doubt. But there were factors in there, significant factors, that we were completely unaware of.
Which one?
I'm not going to get into the discussion on that.
It's rocking.
Okay, well,
I'm not going to get into that either.
We asked the acting superintendent several questions about student safety and how does he plan to dismantle the culture of fear that several teachers in Loudoun County say they're experiencing in this school system. And we also asked the chair of the school board if he thinks more school administrators who were listed in that special grand jury report should be fired. You can find all those answers and more on WJLA.com. In Ashburn, Nick Minock, 7 News.
And new at 11, Loudoun County deputies are investigating the second case of anti-Semitic vandalism in just the past week. And this time, it was at a school. The latest incident happened yesterday at Woodgrove High School in Purcellville. Deputies say the anti-Semitic graffiti was scrawled in one of the school's bathrooms. Now, this incident comes just a few days after community members in Loudoun County cleaned up anti-Semitic and racist graffiti at the South Riding Shopping Center. The cases are not believed to be related. So far, investigators have not made any arrests in either incident. In just the past 24 hours, 4 people have been shot at metro stations in D.C. And tonight, 7 News is working to get answers on what's being done to keep you safe as a rider. Now, the most recent shooting happened today at the Benning Road Station, where 2 teenagers and a woman were hit by gunfire. Police say this happened after a group of teens attacked a fellow teenager on the platform. That's when one of the attackers opened fire. Now, 2 people who just happened to be sitting on a bench nearby were hit by stray bullets. And that shooting happened less than 24 hours after an off-duty FBI agent shot and killed a man at the Metro Center station in downtown D.C. Now, since we brought you that case as breaking news last night at 11, we've learned that the man who was killed is a 28-year-old man from Southeast Washington. Police say that he got into a fight with that off-duty agent that sent them both over an 8-foot railing. That's when they say the agent opened fire and killed him. Now, with these recent shootings, 7 News is asking Metro officials what's being done to keep you safe as a rider. Here's what the general manager had to say.
I cannot and will not have enough police where every human being sees a police on every bus and train. That is impossible. It's not how our world works, but we have an enormous amount of police presence out there.
As for today's shooting at the Benning Road Station, police have not announced any arrests. And we are turning to the weather right now. This is a live look outside at the Lincoln Memorial. There's a little bit of a mist in the air tonight and a few showers. Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson joins us right now in the First Alert Weather Center. And Veronica, who's getting that light rain right now?
It's pretty much everywhere across the area, and it's going to last for just a couple of hours, another 3-4 hours or so, and that is it. But definitely light, Carl, as you mentioned. 49 degrees, the current temperature. I was out just about 2 hours ago, and I was just fine, comfortable, just a thick sweat jacket. However, by morning, it's going to get cold, and the little bits of rain that you see out there are going to be gone by tomorrow morning. So here's a look at future weather. The green kind of wiping away, the clouds moving out of here too. This is a snapshot of 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, where skies are going to be starting out clear to mostly clear, but that's going to allow those temperatures to really drop. So bust up forecast for the kids tomorrow, and for you going out, 34 to 39 degrees. We'll call it cold and then seasonably cool for the afternoon, and lots of sunshine. It's going to be the warmest day on our 7-day forecast, tracking a little bit of rain for the weekend. Not too much, just a little. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up next.
All right, Veronica, thank you. Well, tonight, this cell phone video is giving us more details about what led to an on-campus shooting that left one Suitland High School student hospitalized and another facing charges. Well, 7 News obtained this video, which shows 2 boys getting into a fight right next to the school's football stadium. You can see several students watching nearby. Then gunshots are heard just seconds later.
I heard the gunshots. All the teachers, get your students locked down, lock the doors, and if someone knocks on your door and it's a student, let them in.
They really need to be for security. Kids having 1 or 2 officers out here is not suffice. Clearly, it's not. A child was shot.
Now, 7 News asked school officials if they plan on ramping up security, but we have not heard back from them yet. The Prince George's County State's attorney is vowing to pursue a criminal case against that 14-year-old boy who was arrested. And developing right now, basketball star Brittany Griner is en route to the U.S. as we speak. We have a live look right now from the airbase in San Antonio, Texas, where Griner's plane is expected to land. Well, that homecoming happening just hours after she was released from a Russian prison. Griner had been detained since February for having cannabis oil in her luggage. Her release is the result of a prisoner swap that had the U.S. releasing Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Well, Griner's wife spoke at the White House today after that deal was announced.
Today, I'm just standing here overwhelmed with emotions, but the most important emotion that I have right now is just sincere gratitude for President Biden and his entire administration.
And Griner's plane is expected to land in Texas overnight or early tomorrow morning. 7 News will have continuing coverage on air and online at WJLA.com. Meanwhile, detained American Paul Whelan says he is frustrated that the U.S. government hasn't done more to secure his release from a Russian prison. Whelan spoke with CNN by phone after news of Griner's release. Russian authorities detained him nearly 4 years ago, convicting the former Marine of spying and sentencing him to 16 years in prison. Now, the Biden administration says Whelan is unlawfully being detained and vowed the U.S. would never give up on him. Still ahead, neighbors evacuated as a cloud of smoke can be seen for 5 miles. We'll tell you what triggered this chaotic scene. Plus, a congressional committee releases its scathing report on Commanders owner Dan Snyder. But could the new details force him to sell the team? Well, right now, at least 10 people are injured and several neighborhoods have had to be evacuated because of an explosion at this industrial building in Iowa. Thick black smoke could be seen for miles because of that blast. Investigators say more than 24 people were in the building when that explosion happened.
It shook our building. We heard the explosion. We thought someone drove into our garage door at the shop, and we started looking around, saw the black smoke.
Now, that building is owned by a company that converts used roofing shingles into biodiesel and other products. Right now, it's unclear what caused that explosion. Well, tonight we are learning that a Frederick County, Maryland firefighter has died while battling a house fire. The fire department announced today that 36-year-old Zachary Paris was killed in the line of duty. Now, Paris was new to the department in Frederick County. He just joined back in September. Now, he also volunteered in southern Pennsylvania, where he lived. That's also where he died while fighting a house fire yesterday. 2 other people, including a firefighter, were also killed. Paris was a father of 2 daughters. Well, a scathing congressional report that was just released says the Washington Commanders and owner Dan Snyder cultivated a toxic workplace of sexual misconduct for decades, and that Snyder led a culture of fear. It comes as Snyder could face more pressure to sell the team. 7 News' Mitch Blocker has new details on what the House Oversight Committee report is revealing tonight.
Back in February, 6 former Commander staffers told members of Congress about what they experienced while with the team. They described intimidation and sexual harassment, saying in some cases it was encouraged and done by team owner Daniel Snyder. Now, just hours ago, the Congressional Committee on Oversight and Reform published its findings. Here are the major takeaways. The committee says dozens of employees at the Commanders were harmed by a toxic work culture for more than 2 decades, and the team's owner permitted and participated in this troubling conduct. Members of Congress say Commanders' ownership intimidated witnesses and tried to interfere with multiple investigations into the team. The report says Mr. Snyder sent private investigators to the homes of former employees, and Mr. Snyder offered hush money to silence several former employees. The Congressional Committee also concluded the NFL knew about Snyder's interference. The report says the NFL misled the public and has not protected workers from sexual harassment and abuse, and has failed to ensure victims can speak out without fear of retaliation. Commanders owner Daniel Snyder has denied all of the allegations against him, and the Washington Commanders responded to the congressional report this afternoon. Their statement reads in part, "These congressional investigators demonstrated almost immediately that they were not interested in the truth and were only interested in chasing headlines by pursuing one side of the story. Today's report is the predictable culmination of that one-sided approach." Now, the congressional investigation is just one of several into the Washington Commanders' culture and conduct. Virginia's Attorney General and the D.C. Attorney General also have announced their own investigations.
And this is the latest in a series of issues that we've been following behind the scenes with the Commanders. You can read the full report for yourself on WJLA.com. Well, it's dignitaries from more than 60 countries expected in D.C. for next week's U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit. Mayor Bowser is seeking help from the National Guard to help control traffic. As we told you last night, the event will lead to closures for some of the busiest streets in downtown D.C. You can see those closures on this map. Now, district officials say that because the summit is designated as a national special security event, they are requesting National Guard assistance. Now, the D.C. National Guard says it's waiting for approval on that request. Well, this is something that you have to see, a rare phenomenon known as wave clouds. It's pretty cool. They were spotted in the skies of Montana. Clouds form when cooler air is near surface and warm air is moving above it. The water is lighter, so it moves faster in the wind and creates that really cool wave effect right there. It's a lot of science to create something like this. Is definitely picture-worthy.
And now they're also known as Kelvin Helmholtz clouds from the 2 scientists that discover them.
If you want to be specific about it, I guess.
Yes, or billow clouds. But
That
they
is neat.
are
I've never seen that
cool
before.
clouds, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so today, gorgeous, but tomorrow you're saying it's going to be another level up.
Another level up until we get to the weekend. So
Okay.
tomorrow's the day to get out.
Okay.
Maybe leave work early.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't tell anybody.
Right. Let's take a look at the forecast because we do have some rain chances right now. Sunday, that's looking like in the morning. Scattered showers, so no washout day for Sunday. 5-day trend, we're fine here, but I'm going to show you a big system that's developing in the Pacific Northwest, and that is a system that a lot of folks are going to be talking about. They're going to be showing you snow, severe weather, tornadoes, severe weather, all of that on the other side of the storm. It's a multi-tiered storm impacting a huge portion of the country for several days. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, here's your sunshine all the way through. Of course, it's Toys for Tots tomorrow going on, College Park and IKEA. 47 degrees at noon, 50 degrees at 2 p.m. So a cool day, but a really pretty day. And a decent evening, too. If you've got Friday night plans, we drop it to 41 degrees at 8 p.m. Then it gets a little chilly if you're going to be out late. Expected to stay dry. I do have, though, a little dose, a quick dose of a little bit of rain coming your way for early Saturday morning. Should be out of here by 8 a.m. Your temperature 34 degrees. We'll take it up to 44 by 3 p.m. A good shopping day. Maybe you're buying something for yourself along with the other folks for the Christmas list. 40 degrees on Sunday, 45 degrees at noon. Showers right here. I think they'll be out of here now by noon. Then we'll get up to 48 degrees and eventually those skies will clear. So in terms of dry conditions, you've got a lot of dry hours here Sunday afternoon and a lot of dry time throughout the day on Saturday. But Saturday is going to be the chillier day. That's a look at the wind chill temperatures, what it will feel like. 30s on Saturday, low to mid 40s expected on Sunday. Now, big system that I mentioned developing out west, that system will be producing rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest. For us, again, that 50-50 weekend for the holiday festivals, hanging the lights and getting the tree. Now, let's get to that bigger system because that's the one that will give us our best chance of rain that we've had in a while. So here we are tomorrow. Look at the snow in the areas of Idaho. Watch the system. It comes right across the ridge, and there's the snow for the Rockies. Blizzard conditions expected Wednesday. Up in areas of the Dakotas and Minnesota, 10 to 20 inches of snow there. And then severe weather down south here around the Arklatex. So much so where they could be looking at tornadoes. Again, tornadoes on the ground for a while. 10-day trend here showing by the end of your 10-day stretch, the high temperature 43 degrees. Next weekend, low to mid 40s. This weekend, just slightly higher. Of course, we continue to count down. In just 10 days, you've got Hanukkah, 17 days until Christmas. And right now we don't have any snow, any big snow showing up. So you got to hit the ski resorts. Tomorrow, 50 degrees with sunshine, mostly cloudy skies on Saturday, dry, and then 48 degrees on Sunday with rain for your morning hours. We'll start next week off dry with a few clouds on Monday, Carl.
All right, Veronica, thank you very much. Well, since Scott Abraham is out and so is Olivia Garvey, I want to take over the sports duties for tonight. After 10 months detained in a Russian prison, WNBA star Brittany Griner is on her way home. Got more on how the sports world is reacting to her release. That's coming up next.
And now, the Toyota Sports Desk, sponsored by your Toyota dealers.
Well, as we've been saying throughout this newscast, WNBA star Brittany Griner is flying home. This is Russian state media footage of Griner boarding a plane that will land in San Antonio, where she'll be reunited with her wife, Sherelle, and family. Now, the call to get her freed was echoed by some of the biggest stars in the sports world, from LeBron James to Candace Parker. New tonight, 7 News Sports spoke about that deal with Washington Mystics TV analyst Christy Winters-Scott.
It's a release for all of us. So I just, I don't know. I want to say I'm just elated that she is relieved of that mental and physical trauma of being over there and not being able to get home to her family. We're talking almost a year of feeling like that every day. So can you imagine? But just to know that she's going to be with her family and people who love her, I think it's going to be quite a reunion.
And more women's hoops right now. The 20th ranked Maryland Terps in Purdue. Game tied at 74. Abby Myers to Cheyenne Sellers. The sophomore hits that game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer. Maryland wins 77-74. Well, that win giving Terps head coach Brenda Fries her 600th career victory. Freese has the most wins in Maryland program history. And still ahead for us, a group of horses find themselves in a frigid situation, but see how some good Samaritans help save these cold colts. Next.
Go, 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 go. Hold tight. Drop down to the park.
A wild rescue caught on camera. This happened after 4 horses fell into this icy pond in Montana. When firefighters got there, Good Samaritans were already working to get those animals out. Now, eventually, a tractor was used to pull all of the horses out of that water, and all of them survived. And they are right now being nursed back to health at a vet clinic. Well, several HBCU students are getting national recognition for the positive impact that they're making in their communities. 25 students from historically black colleges and universities were chosen as part of AT&T's Rising Future Makers program. 4 students from Howard University and 1 from Bowie State are among the honorees. They will each receive $5,000 along with mentorship opportunities to jumpstart their careers. Congratulations to all of them. And Veronica will have a final look at the forecast when we come back. Stay with us. Oh, welcome back. I am all for extending milder weather as long as we can. So today and tomorrow?
Same. Today, we had a nice day, 57 degrees. Tomorrow's not going to be quite as warm, only up to 50. But look at how bright that sky is going to be. And then we've got little ripples coming through. There'll be one for Saturday morning, another one for Sunday morning. And then we wait till Wednesday night next week, Thursday, for the bigger storm.
That's not too bad at all. I will take that. A little bit cooler, but some sunshine.
Have you put up your holiday lights yet?
I have not.
Okay,
not even a Christmas tree yet. We're working on it.
Saturday, really.
That's
Saturday
a good day to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also go out, get your shopping done.
Exactly. Get the shopping done, whatever you need to do. Counting down, you know, it's almost around the corner of Christmas.
So close, so close. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us tonight. Jimmy Kimmel Live is next. Have a great day.